Power outages. We are been talking about it this morning. A lot of folks have without power at this hour, and so we want to bring in the experts to talk about what's being done right now, who is getting coverage, and how they plan to continue their preparation and to help restore power to those that are without this morning.
Yeah, so let's bring in Trisha Bloomberg in with Consumers Energy. We appreciate your time, Trisha. Let's start off with what you guys are experiencing right now across the state, and then zero that into West Michigan. What are you guys seeing?
Throughout the weekend, we have seen some significant weather that has impacted customers. Earlier in the weekend, this was mostly in Clare County and Big Rapids, but as you all mentioned, those high wind gusts are starting to come off the lake and really make an impact on the West Coast and throughout Southwest Michigan. So right now, we're looking at about 46,000 customers that are impacted.
Okay, 46,000 across the entire state. You mentioned the wind gusts, right, that we have been seeing that are leading to a lot of our power outages this morning. I know that you guys have been doing work to make sure that some of those power lines are underground so things like this don't happen. But with things as it is right now, what do you recommend to those folks out there that don't have power? What should they be doing right now?
Throughout the year, we work to strengthen our grid, and we're working even outside of these storm circumstances. So if you do see a downed wire, we encourage you to stay away at least 25 feet away and call 911 and then give us a call at Consumers Energy at 1-800-477-5050. Safety is our number one goal, so we really, really encourage folks to be weather aware.
Yeah, and I know a lot of folks could be, a little frustrated, at the moment as they're just, without power.
You wake up and it's out, right?
Yeah, what can you tell to those folks that are, maybe just up in arms this morning, but you have crews, hundreds of crews that are out working at this hour to restore power?
We understand how difficult it is to be without power, especially throughout the weekend and during this holiday season when a lot of folks are gathering. So we want everyone to know that throughout the weekend, we've had hundreds of crews working to restore power, and that we have more than 400 crews on our system right now that will not stop until every last customer is restored. We do expect some continued power outages as these high wind gusts continue, but do know that even if our crews aren't able to get up in the buckets, they are doing other work so that they can restore power as quickly and safely as possible.
Yeah, Trisha, let us into your process here. How does this work? So when a power outage assessment comes in, how do you guys assess that and then triage the situation to be able to get people their power back as quickly as possible? Explain that process.
Absolutely. As soon as we're aware of a power outage, our crews are deployed on the scene to assess the damage and figure out really what is the issue. At that time, during that assessment period, on the outage map, you will see that your outage is under assessment. And so you may not have an ETR. As we start to figure out exactly what that issue is, those ETRs will start to come in. And throughout that period, our crews are working as safely and quickly as possible. So for instance, if it is a downed tree that is impacting the line, then we'll have crews on the ground removing those limbs and branches.
Yeah, I'm looking at the outage map right now. A lot of it does say, they have those tags as to what actually happened there, whether that be storm damage or downed wires or, it is clearly labeled. If you go zero into your area and you have power out, you can clearly see that on the map.
Yeah, you definitely can. And what I admire, and of course, you all are doing your jobs, but the preparation, coming for this time. Of course, we're in the height of the winter season.
Right.
Talk about preparation. What does that look like for crews as far as assessing the area? Of course, we can't control Mother Nature. We don't know what she's going to do, where she's going to go. But talk about that preparation for times like these.
As you mentioned, here in Michigan, we're always unsure exactly what the weather will do, but we are constantly monitoring the weather and we are prepared. We started monitoring this weather situation last week. And as those models started to become more certain, we really lined up all of our crewing needs to ensure that we can respond to outages when they happen. And that also means that a lot of our coworkers that may have planned to take holidays, they're not doing that anymore, and we are ready for the job. We know that our number one priority is for our customers, so we're here and ready to respond if there are any power interruptions.
Yeah, we had mentioned at the top of this interview, Tricia, that we have a bulk of your customers are without power in the mid-Michigan area, so up toward Mount Pleasant, but also a good chunk of those folks fall within the Big Rapids area. So that's, of course, just north a little bit on 131 from where we're at in Grand Rapids. For those customers in Big Rapids, what was the issue there? I guess what are the main causes of the power outages up there toward Big Rapids? I know that they were dealing with a lot of snow and ice from over the weekend, too.
The large weather event that came through this weekend with the ice and the high winds is really what's causing some of these reoccurring outages. So we've had more than 90,000 customers that were impacted in that area from this weekend weather, and our crews are on the ground continuing to restore power. Unfortunately, because the winds and the ice melt off, it may cause some reoccurring outages, but we want our customers up in that area to rest assured that we are on the ground working to restore power as quickly and safely as possible.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And I know that you guys have those crews stationed across the state getting ready for this event. How do you guys pinpoint what areas you guys are going to place those crews?
During a lot of our pre-planning, we start to figure out where are those hardest hit areas going to be. As you know, in Michigan, it's not always certain to know exactly where that will be. So we really are prepared to respond and be flexible based on the impact. Right now, we have mobile command centers set up in Clare County, as well as Big Rapids, which you mentioned are our hardest hit areas, so that we can provide that on the ground targeted strategic support.
Yeah, I like that. And of course, you all keeping folks up to date in the know of what they should be watching out for as they report those outages. Tricia, talk to us about the what people or where they should go to report their outages or any other concerns in their area.
You can always call us at Consumers Energy at 1-800-477-5050. Or if you have access, go ahead and visit the outage map at consumersenergy.com/outage map. You can put in your address to get specific details on the outage that is impacting your area and have some more information.
What about, I know you guys do text alerts. Where can we sign up for that if we know that there's an outage, but we want to get the most up-to-date information? I have the text alerts. I know that it's very easy to be able to see those updates as they're coming in. Where can we go to sign up for not only text alerts, but also email alerts as well?
Absolutely. We recommend that everyone sign up for those text alerts, download the app so you can get the most up-to-date information. To sign up for all of those alerts and to get more information on outage preparation, we encourage you to visit consumersenergy.com/outage center. And that's where you can find a lot more of those details and communications.
If we've got folks that do have no power right now, what are the best ways to conserve energy or conserve heat in our homes? I know it's very cold outside in many locations, but also, you know, I think a lot of people worry about the food in their fridge, right, during this time when they don't have power. Do you have any tips for folks out there who may be experiencing power loss this morning?
Absolutely. The first thing is that we want to rest assured that we are working as quickly and safely as possible and that we really greatly appreciate your patience. If you are without power and you are comfortable within your own home, we encourage you to stay there. Stay safe, stay off the roads. As you all have mentioned, the road conditions are not great this morning. So stay home, get cozy, grab a blanket, an extra sweatshirt, close those blinds and curtains so you can really retain that heat inside of your home. When it comes to food safety, as much as possible, try and keep your refrigerator and your freezer doors closed. If you have access to internet, please visit foodsafety.gov for more specific information on the types of foods that you can keep and ones that you may have need to dispose of depending on your outage conditions.
Yeah, my fear is like all those people with those Christmas dinner leftovers, right? Still in the fridge. You're maybe waiting to keep them a couple more days. So definitely a good resource to go to that website and figure out if you can keep that, especially after a big power loss.
Tricia, I love all of the information you're giving right now. Great stuff for folks that are watching and folks that may be without power right now. What would you say it would be not even a challenge, but a big message you want to hit home when it comes to storms like this and systems that we may continue to see in this winter season? What message could you drive home right now?
As we all know that throughout this past week, we've seen several winter systems come through and impact our customers. And we want everyone to know that we are prepared and we're planning. We are ready to respond to any power interruptions. So as you go through these occurrences, we really appreciate your patience and we encourage you to reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns. We want to work with our customers to make sure that they're comfortable and they're safe.